Okay, so in the previous video in the course, in this 6-step case study example, remember we had made the decision that we liked the black exercise mat. It had a good retail price. It looked like it had good profit margins. And so now I want to take this kind of to the next step and show you some math examples and show you how much money that this particular product could make as an example. So let's do the math. Remember, we had a sales price of $26. Actually, I believe it was $26.50. And so as we move on, we kind of look at the other variables. We have our sales price, of course. We have our cost to buy. This is to buy the product, otherwise known as cost of goods sold. And I've added in shipping from China. So you may remember we had an example of in the previous video we could buy anywhere from $2 to $4.50, depending upon how much we were going to buy, minimum order quantity, or MOQ, from China. So I just kind of basically, for easy math and for to kind of show you how it worked, I just basically said, okay, it's going to cost us $5 per unit. If it costs us another $1.50 per unit, our margins still look great. If we bought it at a better price, they look even better. So I use that as a baseline. $5 per unit is what it's going to cost for us to buy the product and even get it shipped from China. Okay, so that includes shipping costs from China to Amazon's warehouses as well. Okay, we haven't really talked about this yet, but in this particular line here, we're talking about Amazon sales fees. So what are they? Well, Amazon takes 30% of whatever your selling price is as their fee for anything you sell, and when you're using the Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon program. So in this example, remember we sold it for $26. Well, 30% of $26 is $7.80. The key here is that, again, from a profitability standpoint, we don't go into a product unless it meets certain profitability certain profitability numbers. And so we know going into any product that Amazon's going to take 30% of whatever our retail selling price is. So we have to verify that we're going to have enough profit margin. But that's a cool thing because it's a constant variable. We know that Amazon's going to want approximately 30% of whatever sales price is, and we can build that in so that we know we'll have enough profit before we ever get into a particular product. Okay, again, one of the tremendous advantages of the Amazon marketplace and selling on Amazon is what I've just outlined for you. There is really no other business that I know of where before you even spend a dime, you can know I'm going to sell it for this, I'm going to buy it for that, and oh, by the way, I know that my fees are going to be, all appropriately lined out, and I know approximately what I'm going to make profit before I ever spend a penny in getting into that product. Again, just this doesn't exist in other markets in the internet. It didn't exist in my $100 million 14-year business. I didn't have any of this data. Okay, so that's how compelling and how big of a deal this is. Okay, so we will make the following profit. $26 is our sales price, $7.80 we paid to Amazon, $5 what we paid per unit. That equals a $13.20 net profit per unit sold. That is a 50.7% net profit in our pocket per unit sold. I can't tell you and stress to you how big of a deal that is. There are major corporations, Walmart, Sears, you name them, they work off of 2 to 4, sometimes 1% net profit numbers. And I'm talking about giving you a business where you can make 30 to 50+% net profit on every single unit you sell. That's how compelling this big of a deal is. So remember, your net profit is your profit after you have paid your supplier and you have paid Amazon sales fees. All right, I want to take this one step further. I want to show you how the math works out on a day-to-day basis. So remember, we had $13.20 profit per sale. Well, let's just assume that we had only 10 sales a day. That's $132 per day profit. That's over $3,000. In fact, it's $3,900 profit in our pocket selling 10 sales a day. Amazon gets millions and millions and millions of buyers every single day. It is not hard to sell 10 of anything on Amazon. The key here, guys, is that you are following the checklist outlined in the course and that you are making a good profit off of everything you sell. Okay, so what if you sold 30 sales a day? That'd be $400 per day in profit. That's almost $12,000 a month. Just selling 30 units of something in this example. Now, not all products are going to be this profitable, but this is an example of this one, and I didn't frankly know how profitable this one was going to be whenever I set out to do this case study example. There are certain products that may only have $7 or $8 profit, net profit. That's still fine. If you sold 10 of those a day, that's still $70. That's still that's $2,100 profit per month. So again, that number is going to move around depending upon what it is you're selling. But just I wanted to outline this for you, not to really show you pie in the sky, but just to show you what is possible. And when you start looking at some of these, number of units sold per day. Again, I sold thousands of hitches back in the day. We used to sell hundreds and hundreds of units per day on Amazon, either retail or private label, when I had my automotive parts business. So these sales are there. The traffic is there. The people looking to come and buy from Amazon are there. You don't have to go out and find people to buy whatever it is you're selling. They're already showing up to buy whatever it is you're selling. In this case, it's a black exercise mat. It could be anything else. It could be supplements. It could be beauty products. It could be, kitchen products. It could be bath-related products. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, the product is almost irrelevant as long as it meets all of our criteria that we're outlining in this case study example. But again, what if you sold 100 units a day? That's $1,300 a day in profit. Okay, this is insane. 100 sales a day is $39,000 profit if we were making that much, $1,320. Now that's massive. That's life-changing. I know people that 10 sales a day is life-changing for them. If they could generate $100 a day in profit, they could, buy a new car, get out of debt, whatever it is. That's how compelling this Amazon business model is, because all you have to do is follow the checklist in the course, right? And just do everything that I outline here, and you can and will be successful. Okay, so this video went a little bit longer than I expected it to, but again, I get really passionate about how much money you can make with this, because it is built off of a sound business platform, which is Amazon, and you're just leveraging their massive buyer traffic that shows up every day, and you're just getting a cut of everything. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, which is step 4 of the case study example.